Good morning. Welcome to day 5 of the art of not complaining, our 30-day challenge where we don't complain. We do not look for reasons to complain. We do not voice complaints. And today is a day where we're going to use it as a reflection day. It's a Sunday. So today we're just going to pause the noise. And if you've made it this far, just take a breath and give yourself some credit because you spent the last few days shining a light on our automatic reactions and responses. And we've looked at the obvious. We've looked at those obvious complaints that we tend to voice. So today, it's going to be a little bit of a pivot point. We're going to just look back at what these first few days revealed and then equip ourselves with some concrete strategies to go into the next few days of this week. So first, let's look back at these last few days. And I know when we first started, most people thought, well, I don't complain that much. And then day 1 hit and you got stuck in traffic or an email arrived and you started complaining. So today, let's look in the mirror without judgment and ask ourselves a few honest questions. Number 1, what are some of your biggest triggers? Is it a person? Is it a time of the day? Is it being tired? I know there was a pastor of mine that said, never halt, HALT. Be too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. That's when we allow that negativity to sneak in. And so if you look at those in your life, is that when the complaints came? When you were too hungry, when you were too angry, lonely, or tired? Let's observe, how did your body feel? What were the physiological signs that took root before the complaint? Did your chest get tighter? Did your jaw clench? We got to take notice of these things. So today's a day to look back and observe those things. What did it feel like when you caught yourself and you chose silence instead? Because a lot of times just recognizing the complaint before it happens is very helpful in avoiding the complaining. So as you can hear, I have a guest today, and I'm not going to complain about her presence. But if it's too noisy, sorry. But most of us complain because it feels like it's a release. Okay, we have something bottled up inside of us and it needs to get out. But as you've noticed this week, that release, the feeling that we need to release, it's an illusion. It actually just keeps looping us into that frustration. And if you stumbled, if you fell, if you went back into complaining mode, this is a perfect day to reset. It's not failure, it's just data. And so now that we know what we're up against, we can do better. Now that you've seen the complaining in action, you can make a better choice this week. So how do we handle the next few days? It's not going to be a case of willpower to just, not complain. We need active strategies. So as you head into this week, here are some new habits that we can incorporate for the week. The first strategy is the patient rule. You can take 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever it is, when that frustration, when the disappointment, when it hits, someone cuts you off, just say nothing for 60 seconds. Let that initial chemical spike of anger or irritation or annoyance, let it go through your system before you express the dissatisfaction. And usually after a minute, the urge to complain, it slowly goes away. So let's wait. Give it a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, however long it takes, just wait before responding. Another strategy is, we talked about this earlier, shift to curiosity. Instead of looking at it as a personal attack by the universe, just swap out the complaint for curiosity. Instead of why does this always happen to me, just ask a different question. How am I going to solve this? How is this going to make me better? So it's a shift from a victim mindset to a problem solving mindset. And the last strategy is to make a flip. So if you absolutely have to state something negative first, then you have to balance it with something that's positive. So, for example, this is taking twice as long as I wanted, but it's giving me a chance to get the data or the details right. This person, they're wearing shoes that I don't like, but at least they chose to wear shoes. I don't know. Those are just two examples I could think of off the top of my head. But when we add the but to it, it flips it. So if you have to state something negative, you have to complain, add a positive to it. You know, you get home, well, the kitchen is dirty, but the room is clean. And this is just one strategy. You may have your own strategy. So the goal here is to come up with some strategies that will help us to eliminate, to avoid complaining. So day 5 is all about planning for the week. How am I going to overcome the noise of complaining that happens this week? So that's the only quote unquote homework that you have. You know, give your mind some space. Think about how you want to show up for this week. And think about the version of you that doesn't let inconvenience control your day or your peace or your life. There is a version of you, and we've all seen this. We've seen it in other people that are just, they don't complain. And it may be in our group. You know, I was kind of surprised to hear some of the feedback that some of you are having about this challenge. Some people that I would look at as perpetual positive people, and they said that they struggled. So maybe in your mind you can model people that you like how they respond to things and use them as an example. So yeah, that's it for today. Enjoy the Sunday, and let's be better for this week.